I'm a member of Put People First Pennsylvania, and I'm also on the coordinating committee for the Pennsylvania Poor People's Campaign, a national call for moral revival, a movement that is actually a national movement in about 40 states. So when we speak on issues and speak out with the knowledge that we have, it's because we notice national trends, okay? So we're highly educated on this situation. First of all, like the way that you guys had just described, like the tactics and the procedure of how city administration is working with UPMC to make a deal, once again, nothing new, right? This, these corporations, I mean, let's be honest, UPMC is a health insurance corporation, okay? Their job is to make profit off of people's savings. They happen to be an insurance company that also owns and operates healthcare facilities. That's kind of a little, ironic, isn't it? They're also known to do this exact same thing that they've done in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, and other communities. We were going to be joined today by people in the Sunbury community, but unfortunately what UPMC decided to choose to do today was move up the closure of they're closing their hospital in Sunbury, leaving them with no hospital for the first time in 125 years. Okay? They announced that instead of March 31st, they're moving up the closing date to the end of this month, and they just announced it to that community today. So that's the corporation that we're working with. We must not see them as a partner. We must not trust them under any circumstances. And that the only reason why they're pushing for this rezoning is that they can make millions. The first thing they do, look, they closed the hospital right now, hurt people. What did they turn around and do? And they're a multi-billion-dollar international company. And they made it a point to go out of their way to have the property reassessed so that they can take, approximately over $800,000 out of the hands of the School District of Lancaster. School District of Lancaster, which is at a 90% poverty. Yes. So they're not our partner. So let's just get that straight, right? That's right. No, whatever deal that they ever try to make with you, squash it. Don't trust them. That's personal. Now, what I want to kind of tell you is the situation that we have going on here in Lancaster, and why we want to propose to the Planning Commission that you don't recommend a zoning at this time. Okay? We have been organizing on this issue against UPMC for the entire past year. We have done our own community input for our entire past year. See, we're not the city administration. We don't just go meet with the people at the top. We actually want to hear from the community and assess the needs of the community as well. So we did our own community outreach and did our own research with it. Understand that from fiscal year 2017-2018 to fiscal year 2018 to 2019, people experiencing homelessness rose by about 50% in Lancaster County. Understand that the Poor People's Campaign did an audit and moral budget on poverty for the nation. I reached out to find out what the real poverty number was for Lancaster County. Because if you look it up, it says 10%, right? Well, the percentage of people within our actual county that is either poor or low income, meaning they're already living in poverty, or one $400 emergency away from poverty, is not 10%, it's actually 28%. So now when we look at the number for the city, that's roughly about 24 to 26%. What if that follows the same pattern as the county? That would put us over 60, 70% poverty, right? So then I started looking at insurance coverage. Who's uninsured, who takes Medicare, who takes Medicaid, who gets veteran assistance, right? Because those are the poorest residents that get medical assistance. That's well over 50% of the city. So we need to understand that there are more poor people than we are folks who are economically comfortable. So when we hear people that have worked in our community for a short period of time that have an experience along the lines of gentrification from Washington, D.C., put a proposal, an agreement of what they're calling market rate or affordable housing, knowing that the words of affordable housing is actually very misleading because it's not affordable for the people that really need it. That's right. So take the word affordable out of it and just call it gentrification housing. Okay, let's just be realistic. That's right. So we're not pushing back against any agreement on any kind of so-called affordable housing because it's not affordable housing. If you're going to do it at the property that was once affectionately known as St. Joseph's hospital has always catered to the poor and dispossessed. That's what we are pushing for that property to do. And so we have a vision, once again, because we did community outreach. We did this assessment. We understand what is going on in our community. So we envision a homeless shelter with transitional housing, a medical clinic, dental clinic, that would really address the needs of why folks even experience homelessness to begin with. The interconnectedness of the issue of homelessness and healthcare are very closely interconnected. There are many studies that are being worked on. There are many other communities across the country that are realizing the same thing and building similar facilities. We are not the only one that had envisioned this. And so when we also kind of think of this vision, you know, we're envisioning maybe even possibly a community garden, right? So we can grow fresh food, so people can build maybe some skills. Possibly a government entity within that can help people connect to resources. What about the high percentage of people that are Latinx in our community, right, that primarily speak Spanish, that don't even have the health coverage that they need because they need assistance in actually applying for things like that, right?
Exactly.
Why aren't we building a facility that's actually going to uplift some folks out of poverty,
That's
right?
That's
And actually do something about the direction that we're going. Because if you keep building 101 HU, if you keep building Longhorn, which by the way is not affordable, I looked at the numbers. If you keep doing things like that, or some of the luxury condos that sit empty on West Lemon Street, you're going to keep causing more homelessness. You're going to keep causing more poverty.
That's right.
So we have a vision that is very possible, right? Take UPMC out of the equation. I understand they might hold the deed, but it's not theirs. St. Joseph has always belonged to us.
That's
We
right.
built that hospital.
That's right.
It's our blood, sweat, and tears, and so it will always be ours. And we are willing to push up against it, right? All we need you guys to do is say we don't recommend this. That's what we need. We'll organize and push up against them. But don't trust them. They cannot be trusted.
That's right.
That's right.